something else then, don't you? Hello and welcome to Bishop Burton College in East Yorkshire. It's day 3 of the European Championships for ponies. We've already had some medals yesterday in the team dressage. This morning we're going to be live streaming day 1 of the individual competition. Well, Spencer Sturmey is part of my commentary team here. Spencer, no surprise that the Germans won the gold in the team competition yesterday, but perhaps surprise who was their shining rider?
Yeah, Moritz Treffinger. I mean, he rode a beautiful test, and he's come onto the team for the first time, but he rode amazingly, stayed really calm, really composed in the arena, and and led the day. Great.
Team Silver went to Denmark, and Alexander Helgström was their standout test, and he's obviously got heritage. He's the son of Andreas Helgström, of course, the famous medal-winning Grand Prix dressage rider. But and Moritz, but they both look real talents for the future, don't they?
Yeah, they pulled it out of the bag for the boys. It was great to see. There's not many boys here at the European Championships for dressage, but outstanding tests. They both went in there, and I think the Danes, they weren't really expected to medal as high as they did and be that close to the gold medal winning team, but they just went in there and pulled every stop out.
The Netherlands took the bronze medal. Great Britain finished 4th, as they were at the halfway stage. Disappointing for them. Do you think they might be able to get something in the individuals?
It was really disappointing for the Brits. They were bronze medalists last year from the European Championships in Hungary. I don't know. It's going to be really tough. It is a new day. It's a fresh start. I'm hoping some of the nerves will have calmed down. There's 2 new members on the British team. It's going to be all to play for. As you said, it is a new day. It is day 1 of 2 days of individual dressage. We'll have to wait and see.
And once again, the orders have been a little bit interesting, because Moritz is going first today, which again is someone who did the best team test. Normally they'd save him to the end, wouldn't they?
Yeah, he's 6th out in the draw. And also Lucy Baumgürtel, she's going today as well, the individual gold medalist from last year and the year before in 2016 in Wilhelmsburg. So, I mean, it could all be, the story could already be written today. It's one of those things we just don't know.
Fascinating. So this is day 1 of the individual dressage. First horse is in the arena. The bell has gone, so I'm going to send Spencer Sturmey back to the commentary box. Let's get to Nick Wood. Thank you, Spencer.
Thank you very much, Lizzie and Spencer, and a very good morning, everybody, from the commentary team, and welcome to the FEI European Championships for Ponies, as we focus this morning once again on the championship arena here at Bishop Burton College, and the first part of the individual dressage competition to follow those great performances we've seen in the team dressage competition over the last 2 days, where Germany were victorious once again. So our first competitor in the individual competition now in the arena, and it is for Belgium. It is Jette de Jong and Eiko van der Bekerheid. And away they go for this individual test. Our first combination to come forward for Belgium. 3 sessions of dressage today, this morning, for the individual competition, and that will be followed by a further 3 sessions tomorrow in 2 parts, as the team dressage was over the last 2 days. Well, a good start in this individual test for Jette de Jong. It is a different test to the team dressage test. So our first combination to come forward on an actual percentage of 68.33. And those are the actual marks as they are marked by the 5 judges. And you can see that going to 68.22 now, as Jette de Jong and Eiko van der Bekerheid are setting a good standard. And this is a random draw for this individual dressage competition, and we have Moritz Treffinger for Germany with that outstanding test yesterday in the team competition to come 6th. They will be the 6th combination to come forward this morning in this first session. So the very best from that team competition to come forward this morning. Very, very early. Hugely exciting individual competition underway. We really saw the very best of pony dressage over the last 2 days, and we're looking forward to some more superb tests. Well, that actual score that we can see from the 5 judges now at 68%, and as we move forward through our competitors, we'll be able to see the actual for the competitor in the arena compared to the leader at that given time. Well, Jette de Jong and Eiko van der Beek fluently carrying out this test. Our first to come forward, looking very easy within the environment. Horse and rider, pony and rider working very well together. So 9 to come forward in this first session of dressage this morning. And just to confirm what Lizzie and Spencer were saying in our introduction, Germany winning that team competition, Denmark in 2nd place, and the Netherlands in 3rd. But this a totally different test, randomly drawn. So, Jette de Jong and Eiko van der Beek draw their test to a close. Our combination from Belgium, the first to come forward as the sun starts to shine through once again here at Bishop Burton College. These fantastic facilities at the college. The second time that Bishop Burton College are holding these FEI Pony European Championships. And the top 18 will go forward from these individual tests to occur on Sunday. And applause once again, as we've seen over the last 2 days for the team competition. Rich applause for our first to complete their test in the individual, and a score for Jette de Jong and Eiko van der Beek and it is a score of 69%, and those scores ranging from 68.108 through to 69.730. Well, we have a number of Palominos in this competition, and the first of those coming forwards now, and it is for Denmark, the first combination forwards for Denmark in this individual dressage competition, and it is Maya Emily Leth, riding Gold Fever Bella, the 10-year-old mare, owned by Peter Leth. A combination that were 3rd in the freestyle at Ugehan earlier this year. First year competing internationally for Mayor Emily Leth. And of course a member of the silver medal winning team dressage yesterday. The Danes really did push the Germans. The Germans with an outstandingly strong team, as they have had for so many years, but the Danes really showing their strength and depth now also, as well as they are doing in the juniors, young riders, and of course in the seniors. So down the centre line to halt, and then forwards to trot. Mayor Emily Leth and Gold Fever Helabella. Well, the graphics showing that our leader was on 70, now we're reverted back to 69. Now reverted to 69. So, as I was saying, as our first combination came forward, the actual for the combination in the arena at the time, on the left-hand side, showing their percentage scores, 69.5 against our leader, who was on 68.5% at this point in the test. And slightly above our leader in terms of percentage points, 69.5 it is for Major Emily Leth and Gold Fever Helabella at this stage. And that's 69.5 against the 68.5 for the first combination to come forward. Well, I'm delighted that Spencer has now made his way down.
Yeah, very good morning, and welcome to you that are watching, wherever you're watching, all around the world. And don't forget today, actually, we've got the Spectator judging app. So if you'd like to be part of the team, it's your turn today. Take the judge's seat for top-class dressage tests here at the FEI European Championships for ponies here at Bishop Burton College. Simply download the app. It's Spectator Judging from the App Store or Google Play Store. Choose FEI EC Bishop Burton 2018 and select the current dressage test. Choose one of the different modes to get ready to enjoy the ride. With one mode, you can give a score for the overall impression, and with full mode, you have the opportunity to judge every single exercise of the test. And the average spectator result will be presented after each rider. And your scores won't count for the official ranking, but you can use the app and share your passion and expertise. There's also a special prize from Wilbury, the chosen charity, Wilbury Wonder Pony, the chosen charity of the FEI European Championships here at Bishop Burton College for Ponies. That will be presented on Sunday after the freestyle. So it's your turn today. You can judge along with our 5 judges in the dressage individual. And it's Isabel Vessels, Jack Van Dale, Yuri Romanov and Elke Ebert. We've had a change of judges as well in the dressage. Maya Stokes is also judging, and the president of the ground jury now been given to Yuri Romanov from Russia. Well, this is a very good test so far. 71.522 out in front. Of course, only the second test this morning. I said that in the opening. Yeah, I can say it again, yeah. That is me. Well, interesting draw here today with the individual high mark of Moritz Treffinger, top queen H. They go 6th today, and the individual gold medalist from 2017 and 2016, Lucy Anouk Baumgürtel, goes also today 13th. So it could, I think we said in our opening gambit, it could be all over. The story can be written, but a long way to go. And don't forget the young boy from Denmark, Alexander Helgstrand. He is 36th to go, right towards the second half of the day tomorrow. So we'll all have to wait and see as the story unfolds here at the FEI European Championships at Bishop Burton College for ponies. Coming in to the end of their test, the second to go, Gold Fever, Hella Bella, and Maja Emily Leth for Denmark. Great test. That will take the leads.
Yep, they will take the lead. We'll wait to see those scores from the individual judges very shortly. Very good score, and that score for Maja Emily Mleth and Gold Fever Hellabella is 72.568. And those scores ranging from 70.405 at H to 75.135 at E. So 72.568 sets the standard. Very good test there for our second combination to come forward for Denmark, Maja Emily Leth and Gold Fever Bella. Well, already cantering around outside the parameters of the dressage arena itself is the chestnut gelding, Duisman by Dear Fine Lord. Dear Fine Lord, the sire of Duisman, owned by Zenaro Marco and ridden by Silvia Tisiato for Italy. And how good it has been over the last 2 days of the team competition to see such strong representation and full teams, full complement of 4 riders from nearly all the teams. Huge depth within the pony ranks in dressage, show jumping and eventing. And as we have just seen from Maja Emily and Leth and Gold Fever Hellabella, the standard is very, very high.
Yeah, it's very high here at Bishop Burton. 64% they scored yesterday. Silvia Tisiato and Duisman, this Westphalian pony, representing Italy. Wanting a slightly better test here today for the individual. Gets into a good rhythm to start with. Bold start into the medium trot. Just the short diagonal from H to B. It's 8-metre circle into shoulder in. Got a difficult move from the medium trot into the circle shoulder in. Into the half pass, showing good regularity in that half pass. Maybe you'd like to have seen a little bit more bend through the rib cage. They half pass one way and then half pass back to the centre line. Another short diagonal medium trot. Just to the middle marker at E. Then this whole thing repeated. So we go into shoulder in. No half pass. This time it's Holt Ray back at A. And again, I think he just lacks a little bit of suppleness through the rib cage, through his body and his lateral work. Slightly early in his Holt See where the black marker is on the boards. It'll reappear again in a second. Just there. Really the rider's body needs to be central to that when they halt. An extended trot across the long diagonal. Keeps a good rhythm and keeps good regularity in his mediums and extendeds. Now into these dreaded half pirouettes. Yeah, you can see we're just looking for maintaining that 4-beat walk, and he got very stuck at the beginning. I would think that percentage of 66 will now drop down to the 65s. In fact, it's dropped down to 60. I don't think it was worth that. I think it would have gone down. I think probably with missing a judge's score there, it certainly wasn't worth. Yeah, but there we go. So I think it's come up a little bit, but I think it would have dropped down to 65. The extended walk just lost his concentration on the return. Another serpentine. First loop, true canter, second loop. In that counter canter, and then the medium canter comes. So MV, medium. I like to see him a little bit more uphill in the medium. Good length of stride, good ground coverage. But more uphill would have just achieved a slightly better, higher mark. He's riding this test well. Percentage score is creeping up slowly into the mid 60s, 65.107 now. Our leader on 71.931 at this stage in these half circles, in the circle right, so 8 meters in this pony individual test. Extended canter. So the final centre line. It's an improvement on yesterday, and watching her test, you know, in the team competition, I think she's ridden with a lot more oomph in her riding, and the percentage scores have definitely reflected that.
So Sylvia Diciateo and Duisman, this Westphalian chestnut, are leaving the arena, and as they do, the score pops up. It is a score of 65.486, and that slots them into third place of the 3 to have come forward so far, with the percentage scores ranging from 64.730, the judge at H, through to 66.486 at C. So all judges there having our combination from Italy in third spot. Well, we have 2 Hungarians in succession now, and the first of those are Emerencia Rajnei, who was the final rider for Hungary to come forward yesterday in the team competition. And Emerencia Rajnei comes forward on Comtesse van der Becherheide by Composer van der Becherheide out of Isako, chestnut mare. And Hungary with 3 riders yesterday and the day before in the team competition. Well, from the start of these competitions, we've had a hugely enthusiastic crowd. All started off with that opening ceremony on Tuesday evening, as here down the centre line it collected canter towards that judge at sea for Hungary, Emirancia Rajne and Comtesse van der Bicher-Hyde.
Well, Emirancia yesterday scored the highest score in the team test, 68%, just over. Had a really good positive start to her test yesterday and just kept that flow going. And it's so important when you go in the arena, you go in there with the look at me attitude, and she certainly did that. Really impressed, and I'm hoping she'll just relax a little bit today, ride each movement as they're designed to be ridden, and let the test itself tell its story. Because yesterday I felt at times she was just, I think maybe, you know, European Championships and a few nerves on the door, that she'll just relax, chill, and that this lovely little mare will do the same. So far, she's snapping at the heels of the leader score. It's an awkward movement, that medium trot across the short diagonal. Lots going on, lots coming up quite quickly. I think the shouldering could have had a little bit more angle to it. Comes into the halt, just resting that off hind. But in diagonal pairs, smooth move off into the collected trot and this extended trot. Really a good chance to wow the judges and say, here we are.
And you were saying yesterday, Spencer, that the riders need to come in and put forward that wow factor from the word go. Say, look at me.
Yeah, I said as she came in, you know, I said she needs to come in there with the look at me attitude, and she certainly has. This half pirouette, they're so difficult to judge. Everybody has such a varied opinion on what is expected of the half pirouette, but as long as they keep moving and the regularity stays the same, the size of the circle, it should be a small dustbin lid, and that they maintain that 4-beat walk, then you can't really ask for more than that. And it's a difficult move to judge, and horses, ponies, they find it difficult to do. A lot of them get stuck, and it's, you know, you've got to keep working the inside leg and move them around your inside leg. Very nice steps in the walk. Looking very relaxed in there this morning. And this is the nice part about these European Championships now. We've had the team competition, so you're riding as a team. You go very much to team orders, but now individual. You're riding for yourself. You can throw caution to the wind a little bit more if you want to, and go for those higher marks. When you're in a team competition, you have to be a little bit safe, because you need to keep those scores up in the 70s, up in the 80s, if you can get into the 80s. 68% yesterday for Emirancia, and I would have hoped her score would have been a little bit higher. I was thinking she'd be 69, 70 at this stage, not far behind the leaders, only being 4th to go. But it doesn't seem that way. I'm not quite sure why she's not achieving the marks she's really been deserving, because it's been a very nice test, and the mare's answered all the questions. And the canter work is definitely her strongest point. We were watching when she did her test for the team test, and it was very much the highlight of her test. Riding this test very well. We are getting up into the high 67s or mid 67s now. That circle, 8-meter circle, very accurate with that. Oh, slight mistake in her simple change. That will cost her dearly. Extender canter, last real opportunity to wow. I use the word wow, but wow the judges and just be explosive in the transitions, be expressive. Coming down to her final holds. Don't think she's going to match her score from yesterday. 68 was her percentage, 6091 at the moment as she salutes our judges. 68.800 yesterday in the team test, and the best of the three in the Hungarian team.
Emarania Rajne and Comtesse van der Beckerheide completing their test, and they go into third place with a percentage score of 66.649, and those scores ranging from 65 at H through to 67.568 at M. Well, the judge at C is the only one there, putting our rider from Hungary into fourth place. The rest having her in third, which is where she slots into after the first four have come forwards. So the second of the Hungarian riders. This is Zofia Pulzer with Harvestein's Olympic, a bay mare by Orlando H.E. Imp. Zofia Pulzer, whose recent form has included a top 20 place at Brno, June this year. And the youngest pony in the competition, aged just 6, Harvestein's Olympic. And the first year of riding internationally, not just for the 6-year-old Harvestein's Olympic, but also for Sofia Pulzer. So Sofia Pulzer and Harvestein's Olympic down the centre line.
A nice halt to start their test, and smooth move off. Didn't have the best of times yesterday. 62.8 their score in the team test. More angle required in the shoulder in, and also more bend through the rib cage for the suppleness in the lateral work. As the steps becoming a little bit irregular in the half pass. Again, you can see she's having to work quite hard in the lateral work, and that suppleness is key to a good half pass. Having them bent around your inside leg, bent around your inside leg, getting the direction that you want them to go in. Bend through the rib cage. slightly better this way. Defined 3 tracks, but again, just the angle could have increased slightly for the higher mark. So tense in the rein back, just coming above the bridle, then muddled in their transition, in their move off into the working trot, percentage score dropping down. The steps do become irregular the more forward she goes, and that just losing balance. So the balance at the moment being quite weak, that when the pace is increased, the steps then become irregular. Now drop down to 61.538, and I think that's exactly what the judges are seeing. That when she does do the medium and the extended, and the more forward trot work, that the paces just lack some stability. Nice in the pirouette, walked well, kept stepping. This extended walk, looking for the over track, so the footprint of the front feet is being over tracked by the footprint of the hind foot. Good stretch, good length of frame in the extended walk. Could have had a little bit more purpose. Good transition off the leg. First of the serpentines, 2-loop serpentine. First in true canter, second in counter canter. Simple change. And difficult for these ponies to strike off in counter canter, but she did that well, but had to really hold on to the inside rein though. So that again just going to show that pony's not really around her inside leg, that she's having to do quite a lot of work manually. Cheeky moment in this extended as she put the leg on. And again, you know, from the trot work to the canter work, he's you know, weak in balance. When the pace is increased, finding it quite difficult. Well, both girls enjoying themselves, I think, in the arena. I mean, we're here. We're at the European Championships. It's a big occasion. It's a big stage. Hungary, 3 riders in their team, in the team test. And I think if she can just keep above the 60%, she'll be absolutely delighted with her performance here. This mare, we talked about the weakness, and I've just looked at her age. No wonder I thought she was quite weak. She's only 6 years old. So very sweet, a lot of promise in this mare, but you see the likes of the 12 to 16-year-old ponies. They're more established in their work. It doesn't mean to say that the work that this pony is doing is incorrect. It just is. It looks weak. The balance is progressive at the moment. She's not able to match up to those ponies that have been doing it for years and years and years, but a lot to like, and she'll really have enjoyed herself here.
Yeah, a delighted Sofia Puta, the second rider to come forward in succession for Hungary this morning, with the 6-year-old bay mare Harvestein's Olympic, and that score shortly be popping up. But we will shortly be welcoming forward Moritz Treffinger and Top Queen H for Germany, the combination who gave us that superb test yesterday afternoon and who secured another team gold for Germany. So that score for Sofia Plutzer and Harvestein's Olympic. Here it is, and it is a score of 63%, slotting them into 5th position with 5 having gone, and all judges having Sofia Plutzer in 5th place with scores ranging from 61.351 through to 64.595 at M. 63% the score for Sofia Plutzer and Harvestines Olympic.
Well, I think that is fairly indicative of a test, but I wouldn't worry. 63, it was improvement on yesterday. Individuals 6 years old, they will be back.
Well, here are Moritz Trefinger and Top Queen H, this chestnut mare. And of the last 13 starts, this combination have always finished in the top 2. Ranked 2nd in the FEI Dressage World Youth Rankings, Moritz Trefinger. And in February this year, won all 3 classes at Le Mans, and in March won all 3 classes at Neustadt. So wonderful form for this combination coming here to the Europeans, and form that was taken to new heights yesterday afternoon here in the Championship Arena at Bishop Burton College. So here they come, entering the arena at A for Germany. Top Queen H, ridden by Moritz Trefinger.
Well, what a test yesterday, 77%, right way out in front. This lovely 10-year-old mare, Moritz, rode beautifully. I was talking to Jenny Lauriston-Clark this morning, and she said, my goodness, didn't he ride well? She was very impressed with this young man. Also, Alexander Helgstrand, who was 2nd, but a small mistake. And again, I was talking earlier, you know, in the team test you ride safe. In the individual you can be braver. So I'm just wondering whether he's just trying a little too hard. But that was a small mistake. You now put that behind you. You move on, box it up, leave it behind. Fabulous moving mare. She has wonderful paces, great crossover, great reach in her half pass. And what he also does is positions the half pass very well, leaving nothing to chance. Let's hope she doesn't make another mistake now in the extended trot, in the medium trot across this short diagonal. Just a little bit, I would say, a little bit unsettled in the arena today compared to yesterday. Maybe she needed a little bit of more of a snooze. It's just gone 8:30 in the morning, now nearly 20 to 9. But he has gone up into the 74,667 now. Where this mare really comes into her own is in the canter work. So let's just wait and see whether those marks will go even higher. Interesting, today we have Moritz Trefinger, who led that dressage yesterday for the team competition. Also the individual gold medalist from last year in Hungary and 2 years ago in Wilhelmsburg, Luciane Baumgürtel. She comes 4th after the break. We've just got 3 more left to go in this first session. It's a unique draw to have 2 such experienced combinations and high scoring combinations, though naughty yesterday was Luciane Baumgürtel's pony. She did manage to claw some marks back. Very nice extended walk, lengthens the frame. She walked well yesterday. We said in our opening piece to camera that, you know, there aren't many boys here, but my goodness, these 2 boys, Moritz Trefinger and Alexander Helgstrand, they really threw the gauntlet down and said, you know, we're doing it for the boys. Very much a female-dominated sport at the younger levels, but at the higher levels, there's a lot of men. I wonder what will happen in this young man's career. It'll be fascinating to watch. well, not as high as I thought it was going to be at the moment. I hope it's going to increase. There was that one mistake at the beginning. I think that just unsettled the rhythm a little bit. Then she didn't look as settled as she did yesterday. Very nice. Keeping his cool. Riding this mare well again now. There's a lot of simple changes in these pony team tests and individual tests. So the extended canter, last real chance to show off. The percentage mark going up. I think we'd be around the 77 mark again. Yesterday in the team test, 77.429. I don't think we're quite going to reach the heights of 77.429, but we're going to be thereabouts. But I would think this is going to leave the door open. And Holt salutes. I definitely think that's going to leave the door open. We've got 2, if not 3, 4 very good combinations still to come, not only today but tomorrow. Lucianic Baumgürtel comes later on this morning, and then tomorrow Alexander Helgstrand, well, he goes in the third session, or second end of the second session of dressage, so that will be interesting as well as we wait for the score.
Moritz Travinga and Top Queen H. Not quite getting the score that they did yesterday. But we await for that score. 77.189% into first place at the moment. But as Spencer said, some hugely impressive tests over the last couple of days mean that we've got some very strong riders to come. All judges having Moritz in first place, and those scores ranging from 75.135 at H through to 78.649 at B. 77.189 and into the lead for Germany's Moritz Travinga and Top Queen H. Well, now it is the turn of Belgium once again. As we mentioned earlier, these combinations come forward in a purely randomly drawn order. But now the second from Belgium, and it is Marieke van Nespen riding Orchids Borneo II. Orchids Borneo II, owned by Pieter Zan. And a combination that have had 3 top 10 placings at Ludelang earlier this year. Competing internationally since 2006, Marieke van Nespen. But certainly the first Europeans. Aged 13, Orchids Borneo II. Well, we've seen the youngest pony in this dressage competition, and now we're seeing a 13-year-old. And of course, many of these ponies go through various hands and give so much pleasure and give so much experience to these young international riders. So Marieke van Nespen for Belgium, and Orchids Borneo down the centre line to the halt and forwards to the trot.
Orchids Borneo for Belgium. 69.20 in their team test yesterday. Did a lovely test actually. Really impressed. Just made a few mistakes. There was another one of them. And I think what we noticed more than anything was that just drops off the leg, and that a little bit disconcerting, not only for Marieke, but this 13-year-old gelding. So as her team test, she works very hard, working really hard to get that left half pass. A short diagonal, M to E, medium. Very good expressive paces. Just occasionally would like to see the nose just out a little bit more in the medium work. Just drops behind the vertical at times. Marika, very long legs. Good halt from this angle, look square. Nice rein back and move off. She maintained that well. So from the walk into this pirouette, just the one pirouette in the individual, two in the team test yesterday, watching for the regularity and maintaining that 4-beat walk. Just lost a tiny bit of the rhythm at the end of the half pirouette. I shouldn't think it will lose too many marks though. Nice extended walk, but I'd like to see the frame. I'd like to see this pony just seek the rein a little bit more, open the frame up. Always difficult when you're watching a extended walk going away from you, exactly where the frame is, but the ears could just have been a little bit lower. Nice transition into the canter. We've said over the last 2 days, you know, watching this on screen, watching on a television screen, or on your phones, on your tablets, whatever you may be watching on, you have to remember these are only 14.2, 151 centimetres. That's maximum height. Some are smaller, but they do look like miniature horses. And the young riders on their backs, aged between 12 and 16, they ride with such maturity and professionalism in the arena, and the way that they ride in the arena would put some of the older riders to shame. They really do impress. They don't throw too many marks away. This 8-metre circle, I would say that was a little bit big. And this is where, as a rider at the championships, the difference that was better, but may have been a bit small. At championship level, you have to, if it's 8 metres, you ride 8 metres. You don't ride 7.5 or 8.5, because that is what the judges are looking for. They're looking for the ultimate, and to become a European champion, you have to ride like a European champion. Very nice. Impressive down the centre line. Well, that won't be quite as good as her test yesterday, but that medium trot down the centre line really impressed. And I would say, when you're sat at sea, so our judge at sea, what you're looking for is almost to feel a little bit frightened, a little bit scared that the horse pony is going to come into the judges' box.
Well, the score already up for Orchids Bonio and Marika van Nespen for Belgium, and it is a percentage score of 68.081, slotting them into fourth place at the moment, and those scores ranging from 67.703, 67.297, a correction there, through to 68.784 at C. So 68.081 and into fourth place for Marieke van Nespen for Belgium, the second of the Belgian pairings to come forward. Well, now the turn of the first combination for Ireland, and this is Belle Sassa, the chestnut gelding, owned by Catherine Taylor, and in the arena with Robin O'Neill in the saddle. A combination that were in the top 10 in the freestyle at Kiso in the spring earlier this year, and a combination that have had plenty of pony European experience. They competed for Ireland in the Pony Malmos in 2015 and also at Kaposvar last year in Hungary. So here they are again, representing Ireland in the individual dressage competition, Robin O'Neill and Belle Sassa.
Well, Ireland haven't had the happiest of times here at the Europeans. Robert O'Neill and Belle Sassa. They finished in 50th place yesterday on 62.886. Ireland actually filled the bottom few places after dressage with their team riders, Leah Murphy, Tara Hayes and Robin. It's a shame because the depth of dressage now in Ireland is improving, and certainly the infrastructure has been put in place, and we're seeing many more younger riders coming through. I think it's one of those years that is a stepping stone, and hopefully that it will improve. This is certainly a better test than her team test. Looks much more relaxed, much more flowing than she did in her team test. So just dropping down a little from the 66 to 65 now. Argumentative in lateral work in the team test, argumentative in the lateral work in the individual. It's nice to see her ride forward to a halt, but I think it was a very good halt in the end, but I think it would have been nicer just to come round the corner a little bit more in balance, to not so much of an abrupt halt. I think she's just overriding slightly rather than keeping this pony in a good balance, in a good rhythm. He's got all the capabilities to move, but just riding him out of his natural rhythm, out of his natural balance. Fair steps. Some good steps in the extended walk. Need to see more ground cover though, and more over track in that extended walk. That current leader, Moritz Treffinger, Top Queen H, 77.189, with Maya Emily Leth and Gold Fever Hella Bella for Denmark, second 72.541. So quite a way out in front, Moritz Scheffinger and top queen H. But there's a long way to go. He was only 6th out this morning. This is our penultimate rider before the first of the breaks on the first day of the individual pony test. Canter's much better, so hopefully we'll score a little bit higher. Keep the counter, keep the counter. Yeah, she did well. He kept offering the change, and it was looking a little bit fragile, the medium canter, but she maintained it. She kept the counter canter. So 8-meter circle, simple change, canter, 8-meter circle. Well, it's better. It definitely is better than her test in the team test. The trot work is a shame, is a pity, because marks were thrown away in the trot work by overriding, and just if she was to put the handbrake on, and not very often I say that, I'm always wanting people to take the handbrake off, but if she just put the handbrake on a little bit, just steadied the trot down, then we'd have a much better picture, more balance. But certainly an improvement. 63 at the moment, 63.029, 62.886 yesterday. There will be a slight improvement. I mean, it's another day, but Robin O'Neill has ridden her individual test for Ireland.
Balthasar and Robin O'Neill for Ireland, making their way out of the dressage arena after completing their individual test on that long rein, with just one combination to come forward, and it will be the combination from Turkey, and it will be Yagmur Öztürk with her own chestnut mare, Icarus van der Bulkshoef, the chestnut mare by Isako, out of Elegant. Yagmur Öztürk, the sole representative here from Turkey, and we're delighted that they are here. Well, that's a score in now for Robin O'Neill and Balthasar for Ireland, and it is a score of 63.405, slotting them into 7th spot. And those scores ranging quite a range from 61.216 at E through to 66 at B, 66.8081 at B. So now in the arena, warming up outside the dressage arena, the last to go before the first of the breaks. 3 sessions of dressage as there today for the individual. Further 3 sessions of dressage tomorrow for this individual dressage competition. Yagmur Öztürk and Icarus van der Bulkshoef just forwards to the walk, now to the halt as part of their warm-up preparation to come down that centre line. Well, a combination that were multiple winners of the Segovia International in April and then in May this year, and also competed at the 2017 Europeans last year in Hungary, and their first international was in 2014 in Istanbul. So good experience, international experience for Yagmur Öztürk and Icarus van Bulkshoef for Turkey.
Well, she may be the only girl here from Turkey, but she very much held her own in the competition yesterday. 68%, just over 68% in the team test, rode a really, really impressive test. And I'm hoping this little pony really pulls the stops out today, because she deserves to be right up there after the individual. And she is there. She's ahead of our leader at the moment on percentage, 73.333. Our leader 67. Remember, though, Moritz made a mistake in the first part of his test. But what impressed me on the first day with the test she rode is that not only was she on her own with this pony, just the only rider from Turkey, but she came in, looked a little bit nervous, a little bit stage fright, but then really settled into a great rhythm, and she's done the same today. She started off positively. She started off down the centre line with gusto, and it's continued. She's up there. She's threatening that leaderboard, and this is great for Turkey. Nice halt. Oh, stand still. You did this. Stand still. Did this in his team test. A little bit fidgety, just dragging his front feet. I'd like to have seen him pick his front feet up and put them down a little bit more purposefully. Lovely, really nice steps. Opened the frame, not only open the stride, but open the frame, and that's really what you want to see, and I hope the judges will reward that as well. Ooh. That was a pity, because she started using her inside leg to increase the pace a little bit, and then before she collected the walk, it just jogged, and that was a real shame. Now this extended walked beautifully in the team test. Really showed good over track, and again showing good over track in this extended. Nice in the frame. Could the ears be a little bit lower? No, I don't think so. I think they're fine where they are. Very smooth with her transitions, and then sitting this canter. She now needs to just keep the balance around on the counter before the simple change. And then the strike off, which seems alien because it's a wrong strike off. So they go straight into counter for the first half of the serpentine, and then true canter for the second half. She's got to go up into the 70s now. This is some really good work. It's quality, and it looks impressive. It's a beautiful picture. 8-meter circle. Come on, judges. Nice simple change. Straight. She's riding a lovely test. There we go, up into the 70s. Let's give this girl a chance. She's ridden really beautifully. The ponies really answered all the questions as well. Coming down to her final centre line. Give it some oomph. Look at that. Lovely picture. Lovely picture. Very nice. Nice halts. Ooh. Just got a little bit spooked. I think there's got quite a few people down there clapping away. She's got to be pleased with that. She was on 68%. She's broken the 70% barrier. I hope she stays up there, because if that's good enough, that will go into third place. And Turkey have thrown themselves into the mix as well.
Yeah, a super test from Yagmur Öztürk and Icarus van der Bilthoven. The final combinations to come forward before the break. So let's just see if the score does in fact slot our combination from Turkey with that lovely test into third place. Well, and obviously delighted Yagmur Öztürk, and so she should be. Competed as an individual in the team competition over the last 2 days. Greeting other members of the Turkish team. Well, that score is here, and into third place for Yagmur Öztürk and Icarus van der Bilthoven, a score of 71.054, and those scores ranging from 69.595 at C through to 74.595 at E.
Well, interesting. All three judges had her in third place. I certainly would have had her up there as well. It was a test worthy of a good mark. So that does put her into third place, 71.054. In second, it is Maya Emily Leth and Goldfever Hellebella for Denmark, 72.541. And in the lead going into the second session, it is the leader after yesterday and part of that gold medal winning team, Moritz Treffinger, Top Queen H for Germany, 77.189. A long way to go. 2 more sessions of dressage here this morning before the second part of the dressage tomorrow. But we now head towards a break, and we'll join you again in about 15 minutes' time for the second session in the individual competition here at the FEI Pony European Championships at Bishop Burton College for Ponies 2018.